Like I was researching ways to kill myself.
I want to tackle difficult things. The thing that saved you becomes a recipe that you can teach other people. People need to hear the story.
A lot of good stuff here.
There he is, man.
Hey, how you doing, brother? How you feeling today?
Good. How are you?
Another day in paradise, my friend. So we did the meetup thing in New York, and then I kind of just like shared my goal, my story, and like they were like, "Hey, we want to get you live with Evan. We think we can help you," kind of thing. It's like kind of, I guess, maybe help with like giving me direction and stuff like that.
Okay.
Basically, like what I'm trying to do is like I really like the route that you've gone. Like right now, I sell on Amazon for a living, and
Okay.
it's like I'm to the point where it's like not fulfilling anymore. Where 6 months ago, I was like the most miserable I'd ever been in my life. And I went to Tony Robbins in Jersey here. That's where I live now. And like after the Tony Robbins event, you know how we did the Dickinson's process or whatever.
Yep.
And like doing that like brought up all these like crazy things, you know, like because it like they go so deep into your brain, like, you know, bringing all this stuff out, like stuff like I had forgotten, and like going through that whole process, like just like reopened all these doors of things that happened when I was a kid. And like afterwards I was like so miserable. Like it just like shot me in this like horrible depression, like right after the Tony Robbins events.
Okay.
And like yeah, it's crazy. It ended up being a good
Opposite
thing.
of most people. That's great.
Yeah,
I love
it ended up
it.
being a good thing. It ended up being a good thing. But like I'm not like after that, like I was really depressed before I went, and it just made it worse. And like I didn't want to live anymore after that. So like I was just like I literally did not want to be alive anymore. And like I was just like to the point where I couldn't handle it anymore. And I told them the story, like I literally was just like done. I was just like ready to check out. Like I was like researching like I mean, I don't even like talking about this. I hate admitting this. I haven't even told many of my friends this, and I don't even know why I'm saying it on here. But like I was researching ways to kill myself that were like painless. And like I drove over the George Washington Bridge, like, and I was just like thinking like what it would be like, and like it was like I just like ended up pulling over on the side of the road, and I was like bawling my eyes out, and ended up not doing anything, and I ended up driving back home to Minnesota. And after that, I was just like, I'm done with being miserable. Like I want to change my life. I want to get out of this hole. And like I ended up leaving Minnesota and moving to Jersey. Just I like, you know, everything out here, and I'm getting settled here. And like, you know, this last like 4 months, I realized like as I'm growing, I have a mentor that I work with, and I'm like, you know, losing weight, juicing, exercising, just doing, you know, a lot of positive things in my life. And now I got out of that hole, and that kind of put me to the point where like I really want to help people now, and I want to like help people grow. And it's like I'm trying to find direction on what to do, because I don't have fulfillment in what I do for a living anymore, because it doesn't like serve a purpose. It's not helping anybody. I'm not contributing to society. I'm not doing anything to benefit anybody else. And so I kind of like shared that, and I told them, you know, at the event that we had in New York here a couple of weeks ago, that like I want to go in the direction of like helping people. And like I was just like I couldn't figure, like I'm still at that point where I just don't know like what to do. And at the same time, it's like, what do I have to offer at the same time to help people too? Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Just still working on me every day, learning, you know, I do audiobooks, exercise, all that. And like, so I'm still like growing, you know, every day, but I'm still trying to like figure out like, you know, where I'm trying to go, my purpose, and like all that stuff. I guess that's the Cliff Notes version of what I'm trying to do.
Thank you for sharing, dude. That's
awesome. Of course.
What was the thing that led you to feel so miserable? Like, what was the thing coming out of Tony Robbins, that the memory that came up that's like, man, that sucked, and that led to the depression?
Basically, like, I mean, leading up to it, I won't get like into too much. I was in a really toxic relationship last year, which kind of like I spiraled down because, you know, with that. We were both toxic people. And then like the Tony Robbins event, like it was like I have I think we did the 3 limiting beliefs, and one of mine was that like 7 years ago I was like addicted to drugs and stuff like that, 7-8 years ago, and I went to rehab like 4 times and got clean. And it's like I never like got over that. Like I feel like it's like I'll do really good, and then I'll sabotage myself. I'll do really good, sabotage myself. So like I can't get past that limiting belief of like, you can do good things, you can do great things, you deserve great things if you work for them. And so it's like I have trouble getting past that sometimes of like I messed up so many times and like I don't deserve to like be successful or, you know, do good. So it's like I have that limiting belief where I can't, it's hard to get past that.
Okay, dude, so we're going to figure it out right now. So
right.
what's your most, have you gone through the one word exercise?
The exercise or I've listened to your book like 4 times, but I haven't.
Okay, so did you figure out your one word?
Yeah, it's smile. I got a tattoo.
Smile, dude.
Yes.
Nice. I love it. Okay, great.
I love it. Got a tattoo. Yes.
You know, Alex on my team, his is belong, and he tattooed it on the same spot on his arm.
Nice. I love it.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, so that's the first part. Then why? So what's the most painful moment in your life? Earlier, not like getting close to driving off the bridge and that, but like earlier. What most painful moment in your life?
I would have to say, like, I guess growing up, it was like me and my mom growing up, and I'm also I've never told any of my friends this either. Like, growing up, it was just me and my mom. My dad wasn't around, and she was in a lot of abusive relationships. And so growing up, I saw a lot of, you know, I've seen her get beat and choked, and like, you know, growing up, grew up around a lot of domestic violence and stuff like that. And so like that still sticks with me a lot. Like, so I'd probably say that just because I was so little, and like being little, it's like I feel it's like 10 times worse, you know, than it really is maybe. So like that does stick with me a lot. So I'd probably say that's probably like some of the worst stuff that I've seen, just because I was still a child and didn't fully understand what it was.
It's interesting how all the negative things that you've talked about all have that same theme of abuse, whether it's your mom being abused physically, or the relationship being verbally toxic, or your drug abuse. And so like abusing things and people creates a lot of negativity and is the opposite of smile.
Yeah, for sure.
And so here's the thing, like now your purpose comes from your pain. And not just you, everybody. Your purpose comes from your pain. And so if it's just pain with no purpose, then it feels like, why me? This isn't worth living. You can easily spiral into depression. But if you can make sense of your pain and now use that as a way to help other people and turn it into service, that will fill you up with so much smile for life.
That's the plan. That's what I would love to do.
So, but now everybody's built to serve. We all are. Like everybody wants meaning. Everybody wants to help others. And humans are built to serve either the world or the closest people to them. So this is the struggle that most people are on, and trying to figure out how can they best serve. So the people who you'll love serving the most are the people who are suffering from some kind of abuse.
Amen.
Either relationships or drugs or something. It's got to be some kind of abuse. That's who you'll love. You'll love helping anybody. Like if your buddy says, "Hey, Jameson, can you help me move my condo this weekend?" You'd be like, "Yeah, man, happy to help," because you're just that kind of guy. But the people who you'll love helping the most are the people who are going through some kind of abuse right now.
Yes, for sure.
And you now telling your story gives you the permission to go and help people do it. And I mean, I thank you for sharing it with me and live on Instagram, even though your friends don't know some of this stuff. But that's the start. Like, people need to hear the story. Because as much as if somebody comes to me with a drug addiction problem, I can give some support and empathy, but I've never been through it. I've never taken I haven't even smoked a cigarette once in my life. Like, I've never gone through any of it. So I can't be the resource that they need, but you could.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though you may feel like you're not completely out of it, like you still maybe have cravings, or you still have that personality a little bit, but you're still better than you were X number of years ago.
Yeah.
Like the Jameson now could talk to the Jameson in rehab and give some sage advice.
Definitely,
right?
Yeah, definitely, of course.
So there's a lot of people right now who are like the Jameson in rehab, or who are like the Jameson in that toxic relationship, or who are like the Jameson who is seeing domestic violence. And those people need your advice. Like, all three of those things I've never been in, dude. I haven't been in a massive toxic relationship. My dad never hit my mom. I've never seen that. I've never done drugs. So like this is your unique ability to go and help those people.
Yeah, I agree. I like it. Yeah, I agree.
So it's great. You got a smile on your face already. Smile is happening. So here's the thing. So you know your who is smile. Your purpose comes from your pain. It's helping people who are currently going through some kind of abuse, whether it's in a relationship or with substances. Now the how is like, how do you actually do it? So how did you get through it? Like, how did you get from where you are now, or where you were then, to where you are now? You said rehab, you said books, mentorship. Like, what were some of the things that really stuck for you?
Um, I would say like over the like last 6 months, I've made like the biggest transformations in my life, and I think it really came afterwards. So after Tony Robbins, I went back to Minnesota. This was like December, and I was on the phone with a friend, and he was telling me about he has a kid with his lady, and he was like telling me like the love for a child, like kind of thing, like, you know, he was like, the love for a child, he's like, is so much greater than you would ever know, blah 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 blah. He was going through all this, and he asked me, like, he was like, who do you love the most in your life? And I was like, I don't know. And then he asked me, he was like, do you love yourself? And I never thought of it, and I never had been asked that, and I told him, I don't know, like, I'm not sure. Like, I didn't know. And that got me to thinking afterwards, and like I ended up coming across this book called Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It. And like that really opened my eyes to like learn to like love myself and actually like care for myself. And I read that book, and then I started like following the stuff from that book, and then that really kind of like set me forth to growing and like becoming, who I am today. Is like, it just kind of like helps you figure out your self-worth and stuff like that. And that was probably like the first like thing to like really jumpstart me to like, improving my life, and like actually like putting myself first, and like, caring for my body, treating it good, exercising, juicing, and just like really taking care of me first. Cause like, if I'm not solid, how can I help anybody else, I feel. So that was like the main thing I think that helped get me going in the right direction. And then it was just that over the last like 6 months or so, just doing that every day, just working on my routines and all that, and just, continuing to grow every day is probably the main thing that really got me moving forward, I guess, in this direction.
Cool, man. So I think for you to start feeling fulfilled, it'll be a combination of two things. One, sharing your journey of how you're still learning and trying to get better. And two, sharing your expertise of what you've already learned.
Okay.
So you're a hybrid. So you don't have all the answers. You're still figuring stuff out. You're 6 months in on this, but you knew a lot more than you did 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And so everything you've learned, you can now teach others. The thing that saved you isn't just happenstance. That becomes a recipe that you can teach other people. So anybody else who's going through some kind of abuse, you can say, here's what you need to do. Step 1, you gotta juice. Step 2, you gotta exercise. Like, whatever the thing is, and then you tell me your routine. You tell me how you're doing it, and it's not going to work for everybody, but it will work for a percentage of people. And that's gonna literally change their life.
I like the sound of that.
because of your care.
Yeah.
And your willingness to share, right?
Yeah, of course.
And so everything that has worked for you, so now your job is to go off and continue to be a guinea pig, and continue to try things, and continue to read books and do seminars, and invest in yourself. And some things won't work, and some things will. The ones that work, then you share and you tell people, right? And so that combination of continue to tell your story, and then document your journey of what you're doing to try to get better, and share what you've learned. People will follow you, man. People will reach out. People will change your life because of your advice and your story and your willingness to share.
Okay. I can do that.
Now how you turn that into a business is you start turning that into coaching. One-on-ones.
Okay.
You have the mix of public stuff. So like this is a public coaching call, right?
Yeah.
People, if you are coaching people, then people will watch, and some people just take the free information, and that's amazing, and they might get inspired. And other people after this will DM me and say, hey, Evan, can I hire you for an hour to coach me? No, I don't want to be in the coaching business, but every time you do coaching, people will watch it and say, hey, can you coach me? I don't want to make it public, but I'll pay you. How much do you charge for an hour?
Okay.
And then now, so you start shifting from, you become a coach. You're helping people one-on-one. People maybe people need a daily talk with you for 3 months. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like to get out of the hole if they just came out of rehab and they feel like, I don't know what to do now. Like I'm at home, I'm worried I'm going to fall back into my old habits and I don't trust myself and I'm going to sabotage myself. Like all the same stuff that you were telling yourself. Maybe they talk with you every morning for 15 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
As the next bridge for 3 months.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you help them get back into normal society and living a normal life.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And they pay you for it.
Okay. All right. I dig that. I like that.
And then you slowly transition from being Amazon, which you don't like, to now doing this, which is more fulfilling.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? And that can transition to a whole bunch of stuff. That can become products for you. That can become your own juicing line of whatever. That can become videos. That can become speaking gigs, book deals. Like the world, you can take it in a lot of different directions. But the key is to start building momentum around this, so that you want to help people who are in abusive relationships with things or people, and you want to help them get through.
Okay.
You're gonna help them smile their way through it.
I like that. Good way to put it.
Yeah. Well, it's a good way for you, right?
Yes,
like for me, that wouldn't be the answer. I wouldn't target those people, and smile wouldn't be my word. But that's the thing that connects with you. And by the way, that's for life. When you're 65 years old and you see somebody who's coming back from substance abuse and wants to fix their life, you're still going to love helping them. It's never going to get old. So you got clarity for life. How you do it may evolve. You may move from doing it on Instagram to then doing it in public speaking, or we're going to put on the lenses and see you in Oculus 3D, Jameson in your face, coaching me remotely, or holographic Jameson beaming into my office here. The how will change many, many, many times over the next few decades, but you're never going to stop wanting to make people smile, and you're never going to stop wanting to help people who are victims of some kind of abuse.
Amen.
Yeah, and so like that's massive clarity now for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Now you got to step up and do it. Now you got to create. Now you got to share, right? And so this is a great starting point, but sharing more bits of your story. As long as you're not, you don't have to throw anybody under the bus. You may not want to say like, this boyfriend from my mom did this or something, right? Like, unless you want to, right? I mean, whatever. I have my parents on the wall behind me here in my office.
Yep, I see them.
And they're super private people, so I don't share very many stories. There's a couple stories that I share about them, but they obviously have a huge impact in my life. They're on my wall.
Yeah.
Where my wife, whatever, I'll talk about all the time. She doesn't mind. She loves being on the stream. So just as long as you're comfortable and happy with how you're telling the stories, people will be inspired by it, and people need that daily reminder to smile and get through it, because for a lot of people, you could be the only person who's spreading any kind of positivity around this subject in their life.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Also too, I was going to ask you if you could I have my first real speaking thing. I'm speaking at an Amazon conference in Toronto on June 15th, and I have to speak in front of 200 something people. Okay. And I'm the opening speaker, and I'm going to be sharing my story and talking about mindset and the BS that we deal with in e-commerce business and stuff. Basically just more deeper of what I just spoke to you about. And I was going to ask you on any advice on public speaking, because I'm going to be talking for 20 minutes by myself in front of over 200 people, and I'm terrified of it, and I'm so scared of doing it that I have been putting off working on what I'm going to talk about. I'm speaking, I think, the 15th, and I barely wrote anything down because I'm so
We
nervous.
got 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks. We got to get rolling on this. So here's the thing. You know, what's so great about you is you're just willing to be raw, man. Like you're really willing to be raw, to share. And so I would share that. I would share, like, I haven't done a speaking gig before, and I'm terrified that I'm here being the keynote speaker on this thing to 200 people. And my biggest fear is that I'm going to screw up and give you guys no value when you're going to boo me off stage, or whatever the thing is that you're so terrified about.
Mm-hmm.
But I told myself that I want to tackle difficult things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 6 months ago, I was a totally different person. Here's what I went through. And so I'm on stage because I want to adopt a different mindset, and I want to leave that with you guys too. Like, if you're talking about mindset, this is it. You're demoing. You're not just speaking. You're actually doing it. You're on stage living it. You're terrified out of your mind right now, but you're still going to get up on stage and do it.
Yeah.
And so bringing people into that real moment right now, that it's not just something that happened 6 months ago or 20 years ago or whatever. Like, no, right now, this is it. I'm living it. I tell myself that I want to develop mental toughness, and I want to make myself proud for the decisions that I make, and that Jameson does scary things. Jameson does hard things. Jameson doesn't just take the easy way out all the time. And so here I am on stage living it, and I'm sweating, and I love you guys.
Oh, gosh.
Right? So you lean in on that. Like, you bring them into the real moment of where you are right now, and then you give them whatever advice you have. I'm sure you've got your tips and advice or whatever you want to share with them that can help bring them value. But that lead, that opening, I think will really bring people in. And it's most of these conferences are super boring, man. Like, an e-commerce conference is going to be boring. And so here's Jameson is going to crush it. And listen, there's going to be somebody in the crowd. You got 200 people. There's definitely people in the crowd who are victims of abuse somehow, or abusing people in their life or substances, and they're going to connect with your story and want to go deeper with you, whether that's follow you on Instagram or hire you to be a coach, much more than here's a strategy to win on Amazon as an e-commerce seller.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Now, here's what I would do just before going on, because your heart can go crazy, and you're sitting backstage and they're calling your name, and you're like, oh my God, this is crazy. For me, I just remind myself that I have something to give, that I'm here to serve. Like, those people out there in the audience, I have a message that I know can help them. It's not about me crushing it or looking great on stage or getting an audience or following or me looking good. I'm here to serve. I want to help these people. And for me, that always calms my nerves. That always sets me straight. And I'll just remind myself of that just before I walk out on stage, that I'm here for them, that I can help these people. I'm here for a reason, and I know I can serve them.
I like that. Okay. Yeah, that helps a lot. Okay.
So a little regrounding. Already you're calmer, but use that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
no,
for me at least, it really helps. And I think for you who cares about
definitely.
serving,
that will help
it'll make
a lot.
You'll still be nervous out of your mind, so don't worry. That's still going to be there, but it'll help a little bit more as you get on stage. Yeah, right. I'm pumped, man. This is great. Like, awesome. Every difficult thing that you do is another step that you take on the staircase of success, and then you can pull people up to meet you. Like, every step you take, then you reach back and pull somebody up.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
So here's now what you can do. You got 2 weeks before this thing happens. You practice sharing bits of your story every day on Instagram.
Okay. I can do that. It makes me nervous thinking about it, but you're right. I can do that. And
Jameson does things that make him nervous.
Oh gosh, yeah. I like that. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, and you're gonna smile your way through it. And for you, I think especially, don't pose and pretend like you have it all figured out. If you're nervous, say, I'm really nervous. This is my first Instagram video of me sharing my story, and I'm so nervous. But I have to do it because otherwise this is going to own me for the rest of my life, and I want to break through. I want to develop that mindset. So here we go. And then you share.
Okay.
Instead of trying to pretend like, hi, I'm Jameson the professional, and here's my,
Yeah.
I think people will so deeply connect to that, and that's going to be your superpower to helping actually make change for people.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So every day for the next 2 weeks, you can get off this. You can still got lots of time today. Record video for Instagram.
Okay.
And share bits of the story, and get practice.
Okay, I can do that. I will. I'll post today, definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh gosh.
You just did it, man. You did scary things.
I know. I need to, and I will.
Like, imagine the Jameson from 12 months ago even thinking about having this conversation.
Very true.
Like, it wouldn't have happened. There's no way you wouldn't have done it.
Definitely not.
Right?
Definitely not.
And here you are. So, like, imagine if you keep doing this. That was 12 months ago. Imagine where you'll be 12 months from now. Totally different spot, man.
Yeah. It's a good way to put it.
Totally. If you wake up and did something every day that you push yourself a little bit, like, I'm proud of what I did today, whether you get the results, whether your Instagram, like, you're going to record something after this, whether it's fire or you're stumbling and you're figuring stuff out, as long as you're proud of yourself for trying, if you did every day something that made you feel proud of yourself, dude, you're going to be in a totally different spot 1 year from today.
Yes. Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah. A lot of good stuff here. This I'll definitely start posting every day.
Love it, man. Good luck on your first video.
All right. I appreciate the love, man. Thank you so much for the advice.
Okay. Take care, dude.
Peace
Cheers.
out.
If you want to spend some one-on-one time with me, I have a special offer happening right now. Go check out the website right next to me. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.